Hey guys, so I'm going to show you how you can create these type of cinematic videos using Google's Veo 3 latest model, Veo 3 Fast, which is also one of the cheaper cousins for the Veo family. So you can generate this for fairly cheap when you go to Google Labs, and I'll guide you through how to create an account, where to create an account, and where to go exactly. And also, I will be leaving all the links and guides and references and freebies, guys. There will be also a freebie for the prompts. So all of that will be included below the video in the description box, or I'm just going to simply leave a comment on my own video with all the videos. So I'm not sure which one yet, so check out both the comment and the description. And if I forget one of the links, just again, let me know down in the comments and I'll share any links that I'm missing out, okay? So guys, if you look at my screen right here, this was basically created using Veo's 3 Fast AI model, right? So we have a really cinematic alien inspired movies because I'm a huge fan of alien movies, right? So I wanted to create something cinematic and alien alike using VO3, right? And I believe I came fairly close, except for the alien itself. It doesn't really look like the actual alien for the movie. But again, I'm pretty happy with the overall cinematic feel and the look, right, and the angles. So it has that cinema feel to it, right? So and today I'm going to tell you how to structure the prompts to get these type of results. And also I'll share with you a free Google Doc with a structure for these type of prompts. So you can basically copy paste them and just replace the style of the video, the direction and characters, all that stuff. So yeah, guys, if you're curious to learn how to do these type of videos using VO3 Fast, then let's go ahead and dive into it right away. And guys, just on a side note, if you're more interested in n8n or automations, or if curious how you can automate these type of videos, like here, I've covered, for example, this was more focused on a advertising style videos using VO3 Fast. So if you want to create cool ads using VO3 Fast, then definitely check out my YouTube channel because I have a full step-by-step guide how to use n8n and automations. Basically, you can generate these type of video ads while you sleep using n8n and automation. So if you want to know how to do that and get the exact template I used to get this video, definitely check out my YouTube channel and you're going to find this exact video right there. And if I will not forget, I'll try to link this video also in this video as a reference, right, guys? All right, to start, you obviously need an account with Google, and that should be done through deepmind.google. Okay, so because here you can basically generate VO3 through something called Flow. Okay, and Flow is basically a platform from Google where you get 1,000 credits monthly when you subscribe to the Pro plan. And Pro plan is, I believe, something like 26 Canadian dollars a month. And if you subscribe as a new subscriber, you actually get the first 30 days free. Okay, so if you subscribe, you're going to get your first 30 days free, and you get basically 1,000 credits to generate these videos. And for the cost breakdown, so VO3 Fast will cost you, or video like this is going to cost you 20 credits, right? So that's quite a lot of videos for basically for free for the first month. And if you're happy and if you want to make, if you want to be a content creator who creates maybe short movies using VO3, then it's definitely worth subscribing to a $26 a month plan, okay? Because 1,000 credits, that's pretty generous, and you can create quite a few videos and then stitch them together and actually create like a short little movie like we see these days on TikTok, okay? But again, to start, it's free. Just subscribe to the Pro plan. You're not going to be charged for the first month. And if you don't want to be charged, make sure to set a notification to remind yourself not to be charged 30 days later, okay, guys? So go to deepmind.google, create an account. I don't think you even have to create an account. You're just going to sign in with your Gmail if you have one. And then it's going to ask you to subscribe, and that's going to be pretty much it. And then you're going to be basically using the Flow. Okay, so not Gemini. There's two options. There's Gemini, that's for the AI model, something like chatgpt or DeepSeek or Cloud, for example. Right, so if you want to generate specifically videos, go with the Flow, and that's going to be here, okay? And from here, all you really need to do, just gonna click on the new project here, okay? And select text to video and make sure you select VO3 Fast, okay? If you select something like VO3 quality, that's gonna cost you 100 credits. So you're gonna be able to only create 10 videos, okay? Because, well, there's a difference in quality, but honestly, not like a groundbreaking one to start with, okay? Especially if you wanna create short form content and on a small screen is going to look just perfect, okay? So make sure you are on VO3 Fast because that's going to only cost you 20 credits compared with 100 credits, okay? So big difference. And in here, all you really need to do is just describe the prompt of the video that you're trying to get, right? So just to show you an example, right? So if I go to my projects, and let me open up all of my projects. So these are the ones I generated today. So I just want to show the difference between basic prompts and more advanced prompts, right? But even the basic one, it already looks pretty good out of the box, but it has a lot of, I would say, bugs and hallucinations in a sense. Right, so very basic prompt. I started with the super basic prompt, create alien style movie, and just really some basic instructions, right? You can see it's literally fitting into 4 lines, okay? And I got something like this right here. But if you notice, so it's kind of slow motion and it has a bit of that animated feel to it, right? But still pretty good. Well, like nice particles, nice effects in there. But again, it just like looks kind of funny. And it doesn't just have that cinematic feel yet to it, right? And if I scroll down here, you can kind of see the alien. It falls at some point, or I think it was this video right here. Let me just check which video was that. Yeah, this one right here. It falls down, but then it kind of becomes a human. If you can see in the background, you see. So it goes from an alien and then it morphs into a human. So those are basically bugs and hallucinations. If you don't describe to the VO3 like something what we call negative prompt. So we need to basically describe what not to do ever in the video, right? Like for example, 3 limbs or alien morphing into a human mid-scene, you know? So stuff like that. So here again, I created more advanced prompt right here. If I break it down, you can see I'm starting to describe basically it more in detail. Ultra cinematic sci-fi horror sequence inspired by Alien. A biomechanical alien hunts terrified crew members inside a massive spaceship that is slowly breaking apart, right? And then I'm describing the sections, the hull, right? So the hull is basically open and there is a vacuum sort of, and it's kind of trying to suck out the people out of the spaceship, right? And all the shots and all the angles, everything is being described in here. And that's how we get a slightly better output, right? So if I started here, you can see now this is actually looks like more something out of the movie, right? So this scene right here, it's not like super slow motioned down, right? It's more proper, I would say something like 24, 25 frames, it looks like it. Right now, like this like super slow motion movement, which kind of looks weird. So this is more proper, right? And here we have like really nice cinematic kind of a shot of a woman, which is really shocked because everything's falling apart and there's an alien chasing them, right? So it kind of translates the emotion in this shot, which is pretty awesome. And that's what we described in there. So the only thing I noticed, they are running, right? And they're just for some reason jumping out of the spaceship, which is kind of weird. Not really a plot twist for a movie like this, right? Out of desperation, I guess they did jump out of the spaceship, makes sense. But again, this is something that I was looking forward to get as the final output, right? So then I tried again here. Here we have Alien, right? But Alien just looked very cartoonish and funny, kind of reminded me of Venom from Spider-Man. And here the particles are kind of coming out of his face. If I do kind of a back and forth, you can see the little pieces, they're coming out of his face for some reason, right? So these are kind of the bugs, but I really like the shot here. So it's kind of a 360 dolly shot, which is really cool and cinematic. I absolutely love this. It's super awesome. And then I did my last one, which is kind of the most, I would say, proper prompt, right? So I kind of described everything, the structure of the alien, the structure of the skeleton, right? So a lot of details. And it came to be the most accurate result, I would say, right? And here I said, okay, I want them to be running towards a escape pods, right? So they escaping the ship, they should be running towards escape pods. And there's an audio saying, I think it's to the escape pods, and it says like it should be down a hall right behind us, okay, whatever, for the alien, right? So that's pretty awesome. So if I slow down here, you can see I fixed the prompt. So now the explosions and the particles behind the character, now they are blurred out, and I made sure that they don't come out of the character's face, right? Because that's unnatural. It's not how it works. So now this is much better. Well, there's a bit of a lag right here, but again, this could be more of an angle thing, right? I can't really say that's exactly coming out of her eye. But again, we addressed like 80% of the previous bug, right? So pretty cool. And here's the alien, close-up of the alien, pretty cool. So I got a little bit closer to the original character of the alien, right? So we have that shiny skeleton feel. It has a tail, right? And head is a bit of a like a big egg-shaped head, I would say. So again, kind of closer to the original alien, but again, with a bit of prompting, you can get really, really close to the original alien type character, right? And then we have a second variation, which is also pretty good. So like a nice shot from the outside of the spaceship exploding. It's a nice scene as well. They're running away into they're running towards the escape pods. Nice particles in the background. And here we have alien. Okay, so here it's a little bird. I can kind of see the tail, right? So it kind of really resembles close, I would say, enough the original alien. And the head is also a little bit closer. It has that alien-like head when you look from the back. So again, pretty close. We're getting closer and closer with each prompt as we kind of adjust and fix the previous hallucinations, right? So the way I achieve this is by using specific prompt structure, and this Google Doc will be shared for free with you guys. So again, below the video or in the comment section, I will leave a comment with a link for this doc, if not in the description box. Okay, so let me just kind of give you a short breakdown how it works here, okay? So basically this works for pretty much any AI generation model, but you will get probably the best results with Veo 3, right? But you can use with Kling or Pika. Well, I'm not a huge fan of Pika. It has like very funny and animated feel to it. So Kling is also pretty good. So something like Veo 3 or Kling, that would be pretty my go-to models. So I broke it down into a couple of steps, right? So the first one is basically you start with a genre and a mood, right? So you need to describe the ambience and the genre and the overall vibe of the scene that you're trying to achieve, right? So is it ultra realistic or is it ultra cinematic? Is there like a epic fantasy battle in the style of Lord of the Rings, right? So these are really important factors that you need to factor in into your prompt, like super important. That kind of sets the entire mood of the scenery and the scene itself, right? Then you describe the setting and the environment. Okay, so really important. Otherwise, you are letting the AI model to decide, and usually it's going to combine. A lot of times it's going to be good, but if you want to get that cinematic feel, you need to provide those details. Okay, so put yourself in the shoes of a cinema producer in a sense, right? And think of it what I would want to see in the scene and how, what kind of details, what kind of lighting, right? How is the camera angle moving? What are the characters feeling in there? What would they feel if they would see, for example, a alien monster? What would be the expression, right? And stuff like that. What would be the reaction, right? So you need to kind of forecast those type of factors and apply them into your prompt, right? So describe the setting environment, define the characters, right? Appearance and behavior, like really important. You need to add some negative prompts explaining that. Don't add 3 limbs or 4 legs, stuff like that, because it can do that easily. It happens quite frequently. Then this is like actually one of the super important ones. Use lightning and atmosphere. Okay, guys, I can't stress this enough how important lighting is in movies as a whole, right? Like you can have like the best movie ever, but if the lighting is crap, the movie will be an absolute crap. So lighting is like so important. That's why like Hollywood is spending millions of dollars on just lighting alone, because it's just so important, and it just sets the atmosphere and ambience, and it translates the emotion of the entire movie or scene in this example, right? So flickering red light, emergency light, sparks, particles, smoke drifting, like is a smoke coming like slowly fast from which side, what kind of a smoke, right? Is it smoke from the fire, is it smoke from the electronics, right? So makes a big difference. So all these ones you need to factor into the prompts, right? Then establish the tone, which is also important because it's going to translate the emotional feel of the viewer, right? So is it dark, is it tense, what kind of emotion are you trying to translate into the viewer, right? Because again, videos translate into emotions and feelings that the viewers will see at the end of the day, right? So, and this is also really important. Add negative prompts. Like this is like very important, right? No distorted faces or blended futures, because as you guys saw, it was blending alien with human, and suddenly alien becomes a human and kind of melts into the ground, right? Not something you want. No extra limbs. This is like so common. Extra limbs, fingers, and hands. It can sometimes have like 6 fingers or like 3 legs. It does funny stuff like that. And this one too, no cartoonish or unrealistic anatomy. So you don't want to have like anime characters unless that's kind of what you're aiming for. That's cool. But if you want to have cinematic movie, make sure to include this part. You don't want it to look cartoonish or unrealistic, okay? And then you have a couple options to break down into more modular scenes, right? That's kind of a more applicable if you are doing scene by scene breakdown, because let's not forget Veo 3 only lets you generate 5 or 8 seconds. So if you're trying to create a short form content of maybe let's say 1 minute or so, you will need to break it down into modular scenes, right? And there you can apply this one. So the scene number one could be, or the first 8 seconds could be exterior wide shot of crashing the spaceship. So here it's a scene just like, the spaceship crashing, colliding with asteroids, for example. Scene two, now you can shift into crew running toward escape pods, maybe show alien in the background, emerging from shadows. And then maybe scene three, the other 8 seconds. So you're basically going to have a breakdown of 3 videos each 8 seconds, and then you can stitch it down together. And final explosion, alien silhouette as pods eject into the space, right? So you're creating like a short movie, which is pretty awesome, right? And here I'm providing a example prompt and a couple of final tips, guys, okay? And that's how you can basically get videos like these easily, okay? And you can create your own characters or your own environments, right? And just stitch them together and literally create really cool stuff for your YouTube shorts or for TikTok, guys. Okay, so and that's about it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe and enable those notifications so you get notified when the next video like this drops. And you guys already know, I'm gonna see you next time.